Hello and welcome. Today we are going to discuss about a forward converter. Forward converters used as switched mode power supplies. That means this is a kind of buck converter. But here we are providing isolation using a transformer. Forward converter, we can also step up the output voltage. How this circuit is, when resistor connected to the primary coil is on, a current is flowing through this transistor. When a current is flowing through the transistor, a magnetic field is created around the primary coil. When this magnetic field is linked with the core of the transformer, that will create a flux. That flux, when linked with this coil, produces an EMF equal to the input voltage, and it also produces a voltage in the secondary that is depending upon the number of turns. If the number of turns is half, we will get half of the voltage. That means 5 voltage will be available at this point. When a current is passing through it, this flux is generated. So this is called magnetizing current. This current is needed to produce a voltage at the output. We said that the voltage at this point is Vin, and N times Vin is the voltage at this point. So if you on this transistor, this is the transistor on time. If you on the transistor for, if we say, for 10 microsecond, during the time the voltage at this point Va, if we take this point as Va, the voltage at this point is N into Vi. So in order to produce this voltage, there should be a current has to be flown through this. That current is called magnetization current. It is shown here. IM, magnetization current, that is flowing in the primary. When that current flows, flux is generated. When flux is generated, flux linked with the coil. That flux linked with the coil produces an EMF. As we know that V voltage across an inductor is given by L into di by dt, or if we take di by dt is equal to V by L. So the current, rate of change of current, this is rate of change of current, is given by V by L. And the flux, we can also, in the magnetic term, we can also, voltage is equal to N into d phi by dt, or d phi by dt, change in flux is given by V by N. V by N is the flux, change in flux. Now, when a voltage is developed, if we consider we are not connecting any load, only magnetization current will flow through this for 10 microsecond. If we increase the time, the magnetization current increases and the core will be saturated at a particular point. When the core gets saturated, the transformer now has no functions. As we said that a voltage is developed only when there will be a change of flux. When the flux, magnetic core becomes full, there will be no change of flux, so there will be no voltage available at this point. So before reaching the core to saturation, we have to off the transistor and reset. We have to reset the flux. So in order to reset, we have to give a path. When we on the transistor, the polarity of the core is plus side in this side, minus will be in this side, because this is ground. When we off this transistor, the transistor polarity get reversed, and plus will be here and minus will be here. So if we will not provide any path, there will be a huge voltage will develop across it, and that will destroy this transistor. In order to reset the flux, we are giving a path using a resistor and a diode combination. When a positive voltage is at this point, this diode become forward bias, and the magnetization current will be reset through this. This is shown here. This is the magnetization reset, that is given by Lm by R. That means the inductance by R. This is the rate at which the magnetization current is decreasing. The flux has to be reset before again the transistor is on. This is the time when the transistor is again on. So the Lm by R should be less than the transistor off time. Now when the flux is resetted, the core become free. when we again on this transistor, the flux is increasing and it produces a voltage in the induced EMF in the primary to oppose the input voltage and induced EMF in the secondary. If we connect a load, depending upon the value of the resistor, a current will flow. This value of the current will depend upon the load. If the load resistance is high, very high, the average current will be very low. If the load resistance is very low, more current will be flown. So if the input voltage is 10 volt and the number of the turns ratio is half, the voltage at this point is 5 volt, and if the output voltage is V1 is 2.5 volt, then the voltage across the inductor is given by VL is equal to N into VA, means 5 volt minus the voltage across the output, voltage at the output 2.5, then the voltage across the inductor will be 2.5 volt. As we know that if we want to calculate the rate at which the current is increasing, the voltage across the inductor is 2.5 volt divided by the inductance will give the rate at which the current is increasing. The rate at which the current is increasing means if we allow the current to flow in 1 second, what value the current will reach. But here we are not allowing the current to flow for 1 second. We are only allowing the current to flow 10 microsecond. If we allow for more time, the core will be get saturated and there will be no effect of the transformer. So we are only allowing the flux to go for 10 microsecond. So this is the rate at which the current is increasing. Depending upon the current flowing through it, a reflected current is also flowed through this. How? That means when a load is connected and a current is flowing through it, the same current will flow through this coil also, the secondary coil also. When the current is flowing through the coil, the secondary coil produces a flux that will reduce the flux produced by the magnetization current. When the flux produced by the magnetization current decreases, the EMF decreases. When EMF decreases, that means the EMF is 10 volt, which is opposing the input voltage. When the EMF reduces, more current will flow through this. That current also produces a flux which is equal to this flux. So both the flux will be cancelled. Only remaining flux is the magnetization flux. So the current flowing through the transistor during on time has two parts. One is the reflected current. If 2 ampere of current is flowing through this circuit, if we assume that 2 ampere of current is flowing through this circuit, this output, a reflected portion, here the number of turns ratio is half. So N into I0 is the current flowing through the primary. If 2 ampere current flows through it, half of that means 1 ampere. 1 ampere current will flow through this due to this current, due to the output current, and it has also already a magnetization current. So the total current become the reflected current due to the secondary current, the load current, plus the magnetization current. This is the current flowing through this transistor. Now if we look at the voltage ratings, when the switch is off, the polarity become reversed and this diode become reverse biased. When this diode become reverse biased means the voltage across the diode will be N into VE. 5 volt will be drop across it. During the time this is freewheeling, and when this is forward biased, then also N into Vn voltage will be available at this point. During that time this is reverse biased. So what voltage second rule says that if this voltage across the, as we calculated that the voltage across the inductor is 2.5 volt, voltage at this point is 5 volt and the output voltage is 2.5 volt, but the inductor only takes 2.5 volt. That is what is saying here. That means the voltage at this point is half into 10 5 volt minus 2.5, that means the voltage across the inductor is 2.5 volt. That is taking the energy 2.5 volt. If these are the electrons, if these are the electrons, that is carrying energy 5 volt of energy. Out of the 5 volt of energy, 2.5 volt of energy is taken by the inductor for 10 microsecond. And when it is off, when this transistor is off, this received energy by the inductor 2.5 is released. How much time it can send the 2.5 volt of energy? It can send the 2.5 volt of energy for the same time, because the inductor voltage is and the output voltage are same. If the inductor voltage is 5 volt, voltage we want is 2.5 volt, then it can supply the voltage for twice the time. So what it means that how many energies it takes and how much time it can deliver. If we solve this equation, we will get that the output voltage will be N times V in into D. N into Vn means 5 volt. 5 into how much times it is on. This is N into Va and on for only half the time. So if this portion we take and put there, this will be equal. This is half. This is 5 volt. Half of this will be 2.5 volt, and this energy is taken by the inductor during the on stage. And when this switch is off, this inductor gives this energy, this stored energy to the output. So the output voltage will be half of 5 volt will be 2.5. Likewise, the inductor current, input current is N times that of the output current. If the output current is 2 ampere, half of that will be 5 into D. If this is the minimum current, I minimum plus I minimum plus I maximum divided by 2 means this plus this will give the average current. This is the load current. If we increase the resistance, this portion, this is the current flowing through the inductor. This is the current flowing through the inductor, and this portion, the marked portion, is the current flowing through the capacitor. And Ohm's second rule says that the average current through a capacitor is 0. That means the current coming into the capacitor is equal to the current going out of the capacitor. So here the current coming in the capacitor is, this is the inductor current, and this is the load current that is wanted to flow through this resistor. Here we say that we want this amount of current, but actually the inductor is giving only this much of current. So the extra current is providing by this capacitor. That means maximum current is providing by the capacitor during the time. As inductor current increases, the contribution from the capacitor decreases. When it crosses the I0 value, when the inductor current crosses the I0 value, the inductor current is more than the required output current. Now the inductor began to charge this capacitor. During the time the capacitor is charging, when this is the time when this transistor is off. When the transistor is off, again the inductor current is more. So at this time also the capacitor is charging. When the inductor current falls below the required I0 current, now the capacitor began to discharge through this load. Inductor current is low, the capacitor providing the load. Then the inductor current is more in the inductor giving the current to the capacitor. So this portion and this portion, this is the charging of this capacitor and this is the discharging of the capacitor. So the average value of current, that is called amp second rule, is 0. While designing the snubber circuit, that means that the circuit that is designed to reset the core, we have to make sure that the resistance value will not be fall too low. If the resistance is low, the inductor will not be resetted early. It will take more time. By the time the transistor will again on, so the flux keep increasing and become saturated. And if the resistance is very high, this is the magnetization current maximum. This into the resistance will give a high voltage that can damage this. So we have to select proper resistance in order to reset the flux before the transistor is again. So this is how a forward converter is working. But here the problem is that this magnetization flux is get wasted as heat in the resistor. It is not so efficient. Every time when it is switched off, the magnetization flux will become dissipated in this resistor. So the efficiency is not good. This is how a forward converter is working, and these are the waveforms.